first time since October the 30th, the Wizards are victorious.
The Denver Nuggets are failing Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is in the middle of one of the most impressive and historic statistical seasons in NBA history. He is doing things that we've never seen centers do, that he's essentially putting up nearly Wilt Chamberlain numbers on a nightly basis, yet it's not really leading to consistent wins for the Denver Nuggets. And that kind of leaves a lot of NBA fans to wonder, why is that? So we're going to look at Nikola Jokic's individual season and look at just how good he's been. Nikola Jokic is currently averaging 32 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists a night. He is on pace to average a 30-point triple-double and be just the third player in NBA history to do so. Hilariously enough, this almost perfectly mirrors a certain teammate of his who had a very similar season, just a little less impressive, and Russell Westbrook in 2017. Russell Westbrook put up numbers of 32, 10, and 10 that year in order to lead the Oklahoma City Thunder to the 6th seed in the Western Conference. He ended up winning the MVP. Nikola Jokic just recently put up 56 points in a loss to the worst team in the NBA, the Washington Wizards. But that's not the only time he's put up ridiculous numbers, and the Denver Nuggets currently sit at 12-10 in the Western Conference. As it stands right now, the Denver Nuggets are considered a contender in the Western Conference, but they're currently sitting at 7th in the West, barely a game ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers. Nikola Jokic is doing things that not only we have rarely seen or never seen before, but he's also doing things that guards are doing in the league, not something that bigs typically do. Look at this graphic that we're going to put up on the screen here. This is the average three-point distance, free throw plus three-point percentage that I'm putting up on the screen. As you can see here, you see Jalen Suggs, Peyton Pritchard, Odds, Trae Young, Austin Reeves, Damian Lillard, Scoot Henderson, LaMelo Ball, and Tyrese Halliburton. All of those guys are guards. Then you see Nikola Jokic, who's got a higher number than all of them. Nikola Jokic is having an unprecedentedly historic season, but for whatever reason, it doesn't lead to wins. And that means a lot of people believe the Denver Nuggets are probably going to be a first or second round exit this year, despite the fact Jokic is in the middle of his best season of his career. One of the big problems with Jokic has been his stamina. He gasses out in long games. He can't really play a full game, 48 minutes. You saw that against the Minnesota Timberwolves when he began gassing out at the end of Game 7 in the midst of a Timberwolves comeback. It also doesn't help that a lot of factors outside of his control have hit. So let's talk about how the Denver Nuggets failed Jokic. Denver Nuggets were one of the most well-built and complete teams in the entire NBA. But this past offseason, they lost a very key role player in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to the Orlando Magic. And the primary reason was they just did not have the money to really re-sign him due to the second apron effect. The second apron has essentially hit teams like the Denver Nuggets extremely hard because the year before, they lost another key role player in Bruce Brown. Both of those players are very key to their championship window, as both of them could shoot and were great defenders. Another issue that the Denver Nuggets are facing is the financial side of things. They have sent out contracts that are way too big to players that are just not producing up to those standards. The Denver Nuggets gave Michael Porter Jr. a 5-year, $180 million max rookie extension a couple of years ago, and he still has 3 years left on his deal with over $114 million left. He's going to be a free agent until 2027, which really complicates things considering his production doesn't really match the fact that he's making nearly $200 million. Averaging 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists on 51% shooting from the field. Those are not terrible numbers, but ask yourself this: would you pay Michael Porter Jr. nearly $200 million to put up those numbers? This is not to say Michael Porter Jr. is a bad player, but simply not worth a $200 million contract. But another player is also seemingly becoming an issue due to his declining play the last couple of games. Jamal Murray, one of the key two core players from the Denver Nuggets 2023 championship run. Jamal Murray is currently averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists on 42% shooting from the field. We've all seen Jamal Murray put up ridiculous numbers, hit ridiculous shots in the playoffs, but coming into this season, all of a sudden, he looks like he has clearly taken a step back this season. Jamal Murray signed a 4-year extension worth $207 million. They gave him a $200 million contract because the expectation was he was going to continue playing at the level that he was playing at, or maybe even a little better, considering he's not that old. He's in his prime. So I thought that was not a bad contract to give out to one of your 2 best players. Unfortunately, the Denver Nuggets don't have that many assets either in draft capital. They only have their 2026, 2028, 2030, and 2031 first round picks, meaning they only have 4 first round picks incoming to actually use in trades. Other than that, in terms of players, nobody is really probably going to want Michael Porter Jr.'s contract until maybe about next season or the year afterwards. So the Nuggets are kind of stuck with this roster, at least for the next season or two. Definitely, the Denver Nuggets can make a trade and just dump the rest of their picks for a player that may not even make an immediate or instant impact, or they could just ride it out, save their assets, and hope that Jokic can carry the team. In the West, that's stacked with teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Houston Rockets are now on the rise, and a bunch of other teams, and a loaded Western Conference. It's going to be very difficult for Jokic to get out of the West with what he's having to do to keep this team afloat. But let me know what you guys think. Drop a like, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.